You know, I was a bad student, right? I was a C- student, and I was in dumbbell English, right? And the teachers were very concerned about me, you know, and then they took a nationwide test, right, about your intelligence. I'm sure that this was in the 50s, naturally, the late 50s. And, you know, I scored high in one subject, and I was so excited about this, and I didn't know what to do, but I didn't understand what it was. And the subject was something called abstract reasoning. And so I went home to my mom, and I say, I scored really high in abstract reasoning. What is it? And she said that it was the ability to analyze information and solve problems on a thought-based level. And so I thought...
Smart mom.
Yeah, she was smart. She was very smart. But anyway, but in the meantime, you know, that didn't help with my English. So the teacher suggested that I receive a diary from my mother. So my mother, never being really a stickler for anything like education, she was far more interested in my aspirations. For example, if I was going to try out for the talent show with All I Want for Christmas Is My Two Front Teeth, it was her idea that I black out my teeth, right? So she had many, many thoughts on the creative level, but in a practical way, like actually knowing, you know, a proper noun from a common noun, she was no help at all. So she gave me this diary, and this is an excerpt from one of my diaries. So, and the only reason I'm reading this is because you have to understand there's a lot of voices. I got permission from Woody, Warren, and Al to use some of their letters or things that they sent to me. I used whatever I could get from my father, my Grammy Hall. I really tried to mix my life in with all these voices. So this is a voice of mine when I was too old to be writing like this. Do you understand?
I do. I can't wait.
So I know it's breathtaking. So I say, Dear Diary, today I went downtown with Virginia Odeneth and Pat Amthor, and all they did was talk about each other. Plus, Pat told Virginia I like Larry Blair, and I cannot stand one thing about her or her big fat mouth. And then, of course, Virginia couldn't wait to tell me that Larry likes Janine Seton. Well, you know what? He can just have her. And not only that, some person predicted the world would end tomorrow, and I got a D on my algebra test. So that gives you an idea of the kind of person I was. Do you see? And yet at the same time, when I was a 6-month-old child, like a baby, my mother was kind of talking like a person out of an Andy Hardy movie. You know, like the kind of language that she was. This was a letter to my dad, and she said,